Hey guys, good afternoon on this Saturday. It was beautiful today here. I don't know if it was where you were. For you mothers tomorrow, I want to tell you happy Mother's Day. Today, you guys, I want to talk about if the grid goes down. I know we've talked a little bit in the past about things you need when the grid goes down, but I want to actually talk about putting a plan together today and sitting down and talking with your family. Um, Marco should be here soon. He's finishing up the yard, so hopefully you don't hear the lawnmower in the background. Let me say hello to a couple people. Stray Kitten, hello, my dear. I saw you waiting a little bit earlier while I was grabbing my drink and everything. Wolfang, hello. Teresa, hello. Coffee First, hello. Joe, hello. It's so good to see all of you guys. Loretta, hello, my dear. So everyone is watching everything going on in the world. We already know that. We watch what's going on overseas. We know what's going on in at the border, and I think we're going to see some problems for that or from that. But I'm not going to talk about that tonight. We can chat later on at the end of the stream if you want to about it. But today I want to talk about some things as far as the grid goes down. And I have all my notes here, guys, so bear with me. I was jotting stuff down as I was thinking of things to get you guys to start thinking about. Um, we know that, there's certain things that we need when the grid goes down. Hi, Dave. A lot of us have, the basics, the water, extra food. We have flashlights, we have candles, and so forth. I mean, that's what we do. We stock things that we need for situations like this. But we really need to communicate. We talk about communicating. I've talked about communicating in the past, but we need to sit down with our families. Communication within the home is the most important start, and that includes having a plan. um, my last stream, I talked to you guys about having like an emergency book and having things written down of what each other does. Today, we're going to talk about what you should be thinking about, planning for, and talking with your family on if the grid goes down, because chances are good that not everyone in your home is going to be at your home when this happens. So, hello, Jeep Girl. So, I'm going to guess, or let's just say that I'm at work. I'm at work when the grid goes down. I'm 2 hours into my shift. My grid goes down, and my husband is off, and my kids are at school, and I need a plan. We need to know who's going to do what. But what we normally do when the grid goes down, or not even when the grid goes down, when we lose power, guys, the first thing we do is we wonder, is it our building? Did somebody hit a pole? Is there really crappy weather coming? That's the first thing that we already go into action to decide what we're going to do. Are we going to sit and wait it out, or is there more to it? So, as soon as the grid goes down, you need to figure out, is it your building? Is it your block? Is it local, your city, so forth? I mean, how widespread is this grid down situation? And you also need to try your best to try to find out what caused this grid down situation. Now, if you're at work and the grid goes down, chances are good that or if you lose power, that you're going to grab your phone. First thing I do when my power goes out at work is I pick up my phone. I look for any storms that might be in the area, or um, I talk to law enforcement or security in my building, and I ask them if somebody maybe hit a pole, if it's the weekend, if it's late. Uh, did the transformer box explode, which actually recently happened at my work? But I want to find out what is the cause of the power being out. Now, once it's widespread and it's really, probably your phones are not going to work, and you'll be able to figure that out pretty darn quick when you go to pick up your phone and see why the power's out. You'll start noticing also, if you're watching the people around you and you're aware of the surroundings all around you, that other people are also not able to get on your phones or their phones. If they're not able to get on their phones, you're not able to get on your phone, and your power's out, it's probably pretty bad, and I would start planning accordingly. So let's say it's the whole East Coast that the electricity goes out. You're at work. You need to decide, okay, how are you going to get home? Are you going to do you have a get home bag where you need to change clothes? Some people wear uniforms that they don't want to wear home. So do you have that extra pair of clothes in your bag that you can change into to not draw attention to yourself? You need to decide way ahead of time if you are going to go straight home, what route are you going to take, or are you going to go to get your kids from school? Um, these are things that you need to decide before it happens, because when it happens, a lot of people are going to be in panic and situations are going to change around you. You need to look at all the different possibilities of where you have to go, what you have to do. Do you have to change? Are you going to steal somebody's bicycle that's tied up outside to get home? Or you get close enough where you can walk? Um, the cars probably aren't going to work if it's a really big, grid down situation. I'm talking like massive EMP type thing where just all electronics, oh, I gotta fly, where all electronics are just not working. So you have no phone, no laptops, no computers, no radios, no nothing. You have to either get home, get to the school to pick up your kids, or get to a meetup location. Does your family know where this meetup location is? If you do have to meet there, and do you have a time frame of when you need to be there by, or when does your family need to be there by before you start going and looking for them, if you are going to go look for them, which I would go look for my family. There'd be a certain time that if you're not on that door, I'm going out and I'm doing a search party. I'm looking for you. um Hang on, let me get back to my notes. uh let's see, I went over if you know the routes. Make sure if you are trying to go straight home that you stay off the main roads. The main roads are going to be chaotic. Hey, Hudson. Hello, Lone Wolf. So try to figure out your back roads. If there are any maybe businesses that you can hide yourself behind to get home, those alleyways that aren't shady, try to find those to get home. Just try to stay out of public view the best you can and stay on your mission to get home or get to your kids' school to go get your school or go get your kids. Um, All right. If your kids are at school, which in this situation, in this scenario I'm using, the kids are at school. Have you been able to talk to your kids without scaring them to ask them or to tell them if they're going to come home? Are they within walking distance that they can literally just leave school and come straight home? Are they somewhere where you don't want them to stay at the school, but there's a meeting place that you need to meet them and pick them up? Or are you going to just tell them, sit tight, stay at the school, stay in your homeroom class or whatever, depending on how old they are, and I will come find you. Do not move. I know where you are. I know the general area, and just don't move. I will come get you. Do they know what they are supposed to do? Even if chaos and panic is around them, have you sat down with your kids and discussed what exactly they need to do in that situation, or what you are going to do in that situation? Make sure that you communicate with your kids. Don't leave them in the dark, because when everything goes crazy and people go crazy, you may have you actually may have some mothers that are already there to pick up their kids that see your kid and are like, "Hey, you know what? Come with me. I'm going to keep you safe," when you're on your way to go get the kids. So the kids really need to know, do they stay put or do they go with you? Is there somebody else that if they see they can go with? If so, have you set up some sort of keyword or code word or something that your kid knows that that's who they're supposed to go with ahead of time if you have to send somebody? So it may be something that only you and your child knows, or maybe a memory that only the two of you know, a pet name that only the two of you know, that you can share with someone that is supposed to go pick them up, so that they don't just go with anybody just because they're scared. Kids will go with people they feel safe with because they're scared, and it may not be the right person, because kids, they're not the best judge of character when they're really young. They just want an adult to help them when things are falling apart around them. um, so definitely sit down and talk to your kids about what you want them to do, where you want them to go. If you are going to come and get them, if they need to walk home, what route do they need to walk home? Are they walking home with a neighbor kid to make sure both of you get home? Do they need to find each other? discuss all of this with your kids. Let this be something that you have already planned out with your kids so that they know when things fall apart what they're supposed to do or not supposed to do. It is so important to make sure that kids are informed without scaring the heck out of them. I mean, you could tell them it's a if there's a tornado or if there's a bad storm or just anything to um, let them know that if things get really, really bad in a situation where they are scared, this is what they need to do. Um, hang on, I'm catching up. Okay. So if I'm at work and I'm trying to get home, I want to first of all know how far I am from home by way of walking. So if it takes me a half an hour to walk and I can walk, mile an hour and I'm, let's say, however many miles away, whatever, you guys figure it out. I don't know how far you are from work, but I need to know exactly how many minutes it's going to take me to get home or a rough estimate so that whoever's at home waiting for me knows that if I'm not there by that time or if I'm not at the school by that time, um, to go look for me. Or also let the person at home know, communicate if you're going to go to the school first or if you're going to come home straight home so that they know to add that time and not start worrying. Um, the person that is at home, if you are at home and your spouse is at work and your kids are at school and you already have a plan, you know that your spouse is going to go to the school, get the kids, and come home, find a way. They're going to be here within, say, 3 hours of when the power went out. There are things that you should be doing at home while you're waiting. You don't want to just sit there and keep looking out the window and worrying and so forth. If it's during the day, it's going to get dark. So you need to try to not get so scared that you are paralyzed of being able to do anything. You need to start getting things set and in place so when the sun does go down and people do come, whoever's at your house do show up, that you already have a good bit of what needs to be done. And that means, filling up your bathtubs with water, filling up any spare water bottles, any empty milk jugs you might have. Get as much water as you can because when the power goes out and the grid goes down, that means that your facilities that sterilize, clean the water, purify it, whatever, get all the gunk out. That goes down too. So as soon as all the water is out of your pipes, coming to your house, then it's going to be contaminated water. So you want to try to, I would say that really needs to be the first thing that you do after you realize everything is down, your phone's not working, whatever. The first thing you need to do is fill up those water jugs. um, I would also suggest if you don't already have one, getting yourself a crank radio or a battery operated radio where you can turn on one of the emergency stations and find out what is going on. If they're broadcasting, is it a EMP? Is it a war, nuclear attack? What is causing this so that it can kind of help you guide which direction that you want to go to get ready. But before you do that, get your water, get it out of the pipes before other people realize what's going on. Stock it up. Um, I don't care if you have to fill every single coffee cup, every single juice cup, whatever your kids' sippy cups, whatever you have, get water in them. If you don't already have water, and if you do already have water, do it anyway because you're going to need more water than you realize um, for animals, for cleaning, for the hygiene, cooking, so forth. So it's not going to hurt anything to fill every empty thing that you possibly can with water, even if you already have water. Save the water you stored for drinking. Um, let's see, you need to make sure that you have your flashlights somewhere that you can get to them quickly when the sun goes down. If you have lanterns or flashlights, you need to make sure that those are somewhere where you can find them in the dark. Get that stuff all together where it's just easily accessible at night in the dark when you can't see anything. Make sure that you have Don't open your fridges. A lot of people don't realize this when the power goes out, and if you've ever been in a hurricane or snowstorm or whatever, don't open your fridge or freezer, and that stuff will stay cold for 3 days, 4 days, depending on the fridge or freezer. If you keep opening it, your food is going to spoil quicker. So don't open it unless you absolutely have to. Um, let's see. Another thing I would say is if you have bug out bags, if you're not sure if you're going to bug out or not, depending on the situation, get your bug out bags together. Some people already have them together, but some people, each person has it in their rooms. So get those together and get them, close to where the family is going to stay because you're probably not going to each stay in your own rooms if the grid goes down. You're going to stay closer together for security reasons. So get those bags into the same room with you so that you have them. I said flashlights, radios, everything that you need for self defense. You guys know what that is. Or your pew pews or your knives, whatever you're going to use for self defense. Make sure you have those also in the same room with you. Um, get your safes open so that you can get that stuff out and near you. You don't want to have to run up to the second floor to your bedroom safe or your whatever safe um, to go get that stuff if need be. You want it right there, right next to you if anyone tries to get in. Um, this was kind of not everybody is going to do this, but there are some people that are going to do this. If you are able to and you plan on moving any kind of furniture around in your house, and I know this sounds silly to some of you, um, but there are some people that plan on blocking windows or extra doors, side doors, or whatever with some furniture. So maybe they want to put the couch in front of a door. They want to push a hutch in front of a window to give some cover. Um, I would anything that you can move by yourself, try to start moving stuff by yourself to um, get things where they need to be because it's going to be a lot harder to move those things in the dark. Make sure you have your battery backups out to where you can get them. If it's during the day, get those solar panels out and hooked up to your battery bank so that they are charged or charging while you're getting everything else ready so that you have power when the sun does go down. Uh, if your generator is in a garage or in a shed, make sure that you get that to where you can use it without having to go, all the way 500 feet to your shed to hook it up. Get it closer to where you need it. Get your first aid bags to where you guys are going to stay. Not just your first aid bags, but also if you have pets and pet first aid bags, make sure you have those as well. Um, you want everything that you need in that area. So say you're gonna stay in a back room where there's one window and one door, and you can monitor what's going on outside if anyone's trying to come in. You want to have all of that stuff in that room as much as you can get in that room when you're by yourself before the other people that live in the home with you arrive. Try to get as much as the work done. Don't just sit there and start worrying um, because it's just going to cause you stress and not to think straight and so forth. Communications, this is something that you should probably do earlier as well. Turn on your radios. If you have bug out bags or get home bags, there should already be a radio in all of those. Something you might want to discuss with your family members is how often are you going to check in on that radio to see if you can reach them yet? And make sure you do that just to see if you can touch base to see how far they are, if they've gotten the kids yet, if they've gotten stopped for any reason, if they have any information that they can get back to you over the radio. How often are you going to check in? Is it going to be every 30 minutes? Is it going to be every hour? And keep your radio on so that if they do try to get a hold of you for any reason, you can hear them. Um, Definitely get those right away, like in the beginning of getting stuff ready. Um, if you have a battery operated clock or a wind up, those old wind up clocks, you want to make sure you get that too because you don't know how long the power is going to be down. So you need to get that and set that in that same room so you can kind of keep track of how long has the power been down, and is it day or night and so forth. And one of the live streams I was on with Hudson and Greg is I had asked him, well, how would you know if it's day or night? And I guess they still make the 24-hour battery clocks and wind up clocks. So you want to, I would suggest getting the 24-hour just so you know if it's morning or night, because if you're also trying to bug in, you want to cover your windows. That's something that you guys can do absolutely by yourself, is cover your windows. You can buy covers, but you can also just use regular contractor trash bags to try to block out as much light as you can from the outside. You don't want anyone seeing that anyone is in there or that people are moving around. Where are they moving around in the house? Something you can absolutely do is cover your windows by yourself. You don't need help doing that. Get that done so that when the people come in and the sun goes down, your family is safe. That's one less thing that you have to worry about. And I know I'm missing a lot of chat, you guys. I'm just trying to get through a lot of this and then I'll go back up. Um, if you have pets, make sure that you have your pet supplies in that same room. And that includes your leashes, your harnesses, your pet carriers, whatever you're going to need to use if you have to bug out to get your animals and take them with you. Have those with you. We store some of our, like our leashes in the garage just so that they're right there by the door. And I don't want to go into the garage looking for them in the pitch black. So that's something that is going to come in the room with us. Make sure you have those. Make sure you have their food, their water bowls, any treats. And that sounds silly too, but your dogs are going to be, if you have dogs or cats, even, they're going to be very anxious. They're going to be very nervous because it's not your normal routine. Something is wrong. Why are we staying in this room? So you want to make sure you have those too. Just like we need comfort foods, your animals also need some sort of comfort food. Um, and your medications for your animals. Bring Benadryl if you have to give them Benadryl. By all means, Benadryl is safe for animals. So if that will help their anxiety, um, bring it, give it to them. It's not going to hurt them any. If they have a certain beds, bring their beds in too. You're already going to bring sleeping bags and blankets and pillows for your family into that room. So you might as well bring your pets' beds in there too, so that, everyone is as comfortable as they can be um, for as long as they have to be in that room. Um, there was something else with animals. I can't think of it at the moment, but I will think of it. Um, bring activities. If you have small children, bring some activities in there for them as well. So whether it be books, puzzles, coloring books, whatever to keep your small children calm, um, bring those in there too, because they are going to be very scared. They're going to know something's wrong. Even if you're not telling them, what is going on, they are still going to know something is wrong. So make sure you bring things to keep your kids, occupied, keep them calm, and help their time go by quicker, because if they're miserable, you're going to be 10 times miserable. And if you keep them calm, especially if they're younger, the less that they cry or make noise, the better, especially if somebody is outside. So you want to try to keep them as calm and as happy as possible. And if this means bringing in their, favorite stuffed animal or whatever to, keep them busy, then do it. And I know this sounds like a lot, but if you have 3 hours, this really is not a whole lot to do in 3 hours, guys. If you have a plan already, have it in place so step one, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, step two, I'm going to do this, and so forth. So it will get kicked out pretty quickly. Uh, Another thing that I would suggest is what I would do if the sun is still up, guys, is if you have a second vehicle and the second vehicle is the one that you plan on bugging out if you have to bug out with, and you have stored gas cans or whatever, I personally would suggest getting that vehicle ready already as much as you can by yourself to be able to just get in and go if you have to. Something that you really want to do sooner rather than later. You don't want to wait to the last minute. So if you need gas in that vehicle, get gas in that vehicle right away with your gas. Throw your extra gas in your vehicle already. Lock it up. Um, get what you can in your vehicle if you plan on leaving. Just have it ready. Um, if you have friends or neighbors that are coming to your home, you need to be able to communicate with them as well. Um, who is coming over? Who are they bringing within their home? Is everybody in their home coming over? Family, is the whole family coming over? How long is it going to take them to get to your house if they have to walk? Um, or do they have a radio? Do they have a code word or a code name for themselves or locations of a halfway point of where they are? Um, these are all things that you can sit down now and plan and talk with your friends or your family that are coming to your home. Because you kind of, as you're checking in, you kind of want to know where they are, but you don't want them to give their exact location because you don't know who else is on that channel. So it's best to have some sort of code word or a description of, something along the lines of, honey, I'm at, our uh, favorite place to go on our anniversary. Only you and him on that radio is going to know, or you and her, excuse me, is going to know where that location is, but you'll know exactly where they are. So, you can use things like that too to kind of check in with each other, and same thing with friends and family so that you can check in with each other. Make sure everyone knows what channel that they're supposed to be on, and also a backup channel. So if your original channel has some sort of messed up connection or other people are on that channel, make sure that they know what other channel to go to switch over to be able to communicate. And this needs to be all the way around, not just in your home, whoever's coming to your home. Um, See, I said start loading your vehicle already. Make sure to you are already going around and making sure all your doors and your windows are already locked. Of course, you want to do this before you cover your windows, but definitely double check. And I know a lot of us keep them locked anyways, but just double check. Maybe you let the dogs out and you just let them in and you forgot to lock the door. Quick, do a double check. Make sure everything is locked, secured, closed. Um, Pull your curtains, even if you have your windows covered. Pull your curtains. It's just an extra layer of not seen in case maybe you have a pinhole or something in your trash bag, so there's no light at all. Um, that takes all of a couple minutes, guys, to do that. So make sure you do that. Make sure that you have your heaters if it's the winter, or a way to cool yourself if it's the summer, which means really, for the most part, battery operated fans, unless you have a battery operated small AC unit. Have those in your room too so that you can, stay warm or stay cool. Your extra blankets, I think I just said that. Um, and this is kind of another silly thing too, but this is something that a lot of people with pets do not think about. Make sure that if you have dogs, your dogs have somewhere to go to the bathroom. And this could be a potty pad, but you can also use, this is something that is used in for people that go through hurricanes. You can go buy just a very small kiddie pool, just the plastic $10 pools at Walmart, and go to the garden section and get a couple of rolls of just some turf to put in there. Or you can buy, if it's out of season, you can buy the fake turf that you can put in there so that they have somewhere to do their business and it stays contained and it's not all over where you guys are staying. Also, if you have something that's similar to the turf outside, they're more likely to use the restroom in it. You don't want them to keep holding it and getting sick, and then you just have another problem to deal with, another situation if their kidneys, they get blocked or get infections and so forth. So make sure they have an area to go potty that is, I wouldn't keep it in the room, but keep it near that room. So you don't have to also let them outside and take the chance of anyone seeing that you all are there. Um, I think that might have been most of it. Make sure when you guys people are going to come to your door if they know you're there, especially neighbors and stuff happens. You really need to decide now with your family if you're going to open the door or not. And I know a lot of us have talked about that before. You also need to know if your family is on the other side of the door. Say, like if my in laws were to come, how do I know it's my in laws on the other side of the door? So you all need to have a way you've already pre-planned on how you are going to basically prove that you are who you are on the other side of the door, or I'm not opening my door. And if you try to force your way in my door, um, you're going to be laying in front of my door. So make sure you find that out too, because you also don't want to keep looking out the windows because you take the chance of being seen looking out your windows. You need to communicate within your family. How long are you going to bug in, or what circumstance is going to happen before you pack up the car and leave? That needs to be pre planned really for the most part of when are you guys going to leave, because if it comes down to the point of when you should leave and that's when you're trying to decide, one might want to leave and one might not want to leave yet. So there really needs to be a, in concrete, if this happens we are going no matter what, so that it's already agreed. There's no discrepancies, there's no disagreement. It is okay, this is what we decided on, it's happening, let's go. And you don't have to worry about um, disagreeing or waiting or whatever, because you might one might want to go and the other one might want to wait, and if you wait it might be too late. So um, plan that ahead of time. I think that was really the tips and points that I wanted to tell you guys about. These are all things that a lot of people don't think about, and these are all things that I think that families really need to sit down and talk about ahead of time, especially if you have kids in school, if you have multiple family members at home, if you're on different schedules. These are things you all need to talk about way ahead of time. Um, so I highly suggest you guys do this. There's ways to talk to your kids without scaring them. There's ways to reach out to your families. We've discussed that before without upsetting them or scaring them, even if they don't see everything. There are ways to kind of ease these things in and let them know, storm season, snow season, hurricane season. Guess what, you guys? I'm going to leave this radio here and then just, forget to pick it up so that it's still there for them and you can still communicate if something else happens in the future. There's ways to get around this to get people thinking and on the same page with you that are in your family without them realizing what you're doing. Yes, make sure that you've also sat down and discussed where are you all going? If something happens in this neck of the woods, then we're going here. Make sure everybody kind of agrees on that as well. And I've already told you guys, have your directions already printed, your maps already printed so that you know how to get there, or ways to detour if you have to from a specific road for whatever reason. Oh man. Um, I'm at 33 minutes. I know I missed a whole bunch of you guys, and I don't want to go all the way back because it will just really mess you guys up with taking way too long, and I'll just sit here. So, if you guys had any questions, please just go ahead and pop them in again. I did see a couple more people in here. I think I saw Irishman in here. So, hello. Yeah, there you are. Hello, Irishman. Um, Let's see. Red Scout, hello. Tracy, hello. Um, Farmer, hello. I think I saw Love um in here too. You know who I'm talking about. Oh, Uncle Charlie, hello. Yeah, I saw a couple people pop in, but I wanted to make sure to get the stuff out because you guys know I get sidetracked. So um if I stay focused and not pay attention to the chat, I get what I'm trying to say out better. Thank you, Yardbirds, and hello. Um, any questions, guys? Is there anything that maybe I didn't touch on that maybe you guys want to share? I know this is going to be changed to whatever circumstance you're in, whether you're in the city or in the suburbs or you're rural, of course, this is going to change and adapt to wherever you are. But this gives you some good basics to go off of and some things that if you are the one that's in the home, um, what you could be doing while you're waiting for other people to return. Um, yeah, definitely redo your checklist. Communicate if there's any changes, especially, some people they move and they don't even realize that a lot of that stuff on that list changes. Double check where everything is. You may have, put something somewhere else when you moved or whatever, trying to reorganize, and you didn't write down where something has changed, the placement of it. Um, Yeah, the maps should be already had at this point, honestly. If you don't have maps, get maps. They also have off-road maps, so it shows you all the back roads to different towns. So I would highly suggest in your state that you get one of those maps that show the smaller roads as well, and not just the highways and interstates. Um, let's see. Yep, water bobs. I don't know if some of you might not know what a water bob is. Water bob is a great way to have water in your bathtub if something happens, even if it's something like a tornado, snowstorm, whatever. It's just a huge bladder that literally goes in your bathtub and you fill it up. And it has a little like tubey spout on it that you can, get water from. Um, and you reuse that water too. So any of the water that you guys cook with, a lot of people don't realize this either. The water that you guys cook with or clean with or whatever, save that water because you can flush your toilets with it. So don't just throw it out and dump it. Save it so that you can flush down any waste. Just keep, moving down as far as reusing the water until you have to put it in the toilet, for different things. You know what I'm trying to say. Don't like, shampoo your hair and then try to cook with it. Don't do it in that order. Let's see. Try and find maps. Anyone know where I can get them? Coffee first. I actually got the old time atlas off of Amazon. They have some really, really good atlases, including the off-road ones, so that I have all the states. So I have an atlas for the United States, and then I have an atlas for off-road for South Carolina, for my state. But you can get them on Amazon for next to nothing. They're not super expensive. I think they're maybe $20 a piece, and it's worth it to me. Yeah. Um, well, now your water bob wolfing, it actually won't really matter because if you have a bathtub upstairs, it's no different than if your bathtub is full of water. It's the same amount of water. It's just in a sterile bladder. It's not like a water bed, the old water beds where you had to make sure because it's not used to holding that water. But the water bob is it stays in the bathtub and it's no more water than what you would already have in your bathtub. Yes, truck stops too are good places for maps. Welcome centers, visitor centers, any kind of touristy area. A lot of times we'll have free maps for that general location. You might have a whole stack of them for different locations, but they're free. So it's not a bad idea to stop by the touristy areas just to get those. Yeah, bookstores will probably have them too, and you may actually be able to go to like the thrift stores and get used ones, like the book thrift stores, and get some used ones as well. They may be a little outdated, but they'll probably have the majority of them on there that are current. Yep, loves your pilot. The truck stops. Flying J's is another one. I don't know if y'all have Flying J's where you're at, but that's another one that would have maps. Practice your plan. Yep. Yep. Um, Another thing, I don't know if you guys, a lot of people do this either. Um, it's not a bad idea to have your must haves in a container ready for you to go. You don't want to, especially in the dark, if you have to get up and go, you have everything else to bug in and you have a good bit of it in the vehicle. Um, but there are going to be certain things that you want to be able to grab and go. And it's not a bad idea to put that stuff in a bin and have it close to um, or somewhere where you can get to it or close to a door that you can just grab it and go. So I'm talking like your cast iron pans, things that you will need if you have to go to like cook with or whatever. Um, put that already in a big tote of some sort so that you can just grab it and go. Your must-haves, so your staples too, some of your staple foods. What are the things you have to have? If you bug out, you're not gonna be able to take everything with you, so what do you have to have? Your salts, your flours, your sugars, things that you can make other things with, variety stuff, your pots and pans, your cast iron, um, extra plates to eat on, things like that should be in your must-haves, already put together and ready to go. Yeah. I don't think they make water beds anymore, but those were great, except for the chemicals in them. You had to put so many chemicals in them, but they were awesome. I loved my water bed. Yeah, coffee first. I would definitely look at the truck stops, or I would look at the touristy areas, the visitor centers, or just get it online. Like I said, you can get a whole atlas of your state that covers every corner of your state, and it'll tell you what roads are where, and they're right around 20 bucks, if that. Okay, coffee first, then I would definitely look online then. I would look on, Amazon and, know your bridges. If you have to cross bridges, know which bridge you're gonna cross, which one has the most traffic, or which one would have the most traffic. So whichever one is the primary bridge that people use to go to work, that's probably not the bridge you wanna take if you're trying to leave. Find alternate routes. Yeah, Dave, I remember that, the AAA maps having all those back roads. Not anymore. It's hard to find the back road ones. If you have a Jeep store in your area, Jeep stores, or if you know where a Jeep store is, the Jeep stores or any of the um, off road type vehicles, they usually have maps too, the back road maps, because most Jeep people go, on the back roads that aren't marked, and they'll have those mapped out for you. Let's see. I think I'm pretty much caught up, even though I'm sure I missed a whole bunch up ahead. I'm sorry for that, you guys. Yes. Yard birds, you actually just reminded me. Those are great. Those 18-gallon the water jugs, those are really, really great. If you guys have your rain barrel stored for winter, or if you guys tuck them away, make sure that they are where you can get to them too. So if you have to get water that way, then you don't have to go out into a shed or whatever to go find them. Um, get that stuff already, planted where you need to use them. Um, Yep, online bookstores. There is, I think it's called Thrift Store Books. Thrift Store Books is a great thrift store online that you can order books, not just maps, but also the Foxfire books. If you guys ever need to look for those, there's sometimes a waiting list, but they come in often. So, thriftstorebooks.com, I believe it's called. Um, they have a huge, huge variety of books that are gently used that you can purchase online as well. And they ship them fast, really fast. I think that's where I found most of my Foxfire books was there on thriftstorebooks.com. And I think I paid $5 or less for each book. which, if you know anything about the Foxfire books, that's a really, really great price. Um, I'm just going through comments. Give me a second, you guys. National Park Service sells Topo Maps. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, coffee. I should have got some coffee coming up here, but I've got my big old cherry limeade, my humongo cherry limeade. I love cherry limeade. I love lemonade. That's really my favorite. All right, you guys. Real quick, I want to remind you guys that I'm doing my first meetup in October in Tennessee, in Rogersville, Tennessee, October 13th through 15th. Um, it's going to be a really awesome time to be able to just get together and practice and share skills and talk about, different scenarios, kind of like this one that we did today. Um, it is not going to cost anyone anything. You will have to bring in your own water and food, whatever you guys need. It's a good chance to basically bug out without bugging out if we get to October. Hopefully, we do, God willing. But hopefully, you guys will be there. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me on it. But it's really just going to be a get together, camp out, uh, come camping in whatever you camp in, whether it be a hammock or a tent or whatever. You want to sleep under the stars in a sleeping bag? By all means. That's coming up. It's going to be my first one. So I am a little bit nervous, but also excited at the same time because there are some people that I really want to meet that have already told me that they're going to be there. I'm really excited about that to be able to sit and chat with them. Um, my computer's trying to restart. There's an update. This is not a good time. Um, oh, I missed it. I don't think I got that far. Oh, there it is. I just got to it. Love and Life. It says two things that every American should know how to use, neither of which are taught in schools. I actually got commented, somebody commented on my shirt today. I went to Tractor Supply and um, the woman, the cash register lady, cashier, she said she loves my shirt and it's very true. And of course, I was like, well, thank you. Yes, it is 100%. So that made me feel good that there's other people out there that still feel like that. Hi, TJ. I think I missed you earlier. Windsprout, I missed you too. Hello. That's what I was looking for without quite knowing what I was looking for. Coffee, I think they're called Overland maps, I believe. I don't have my atlas in front of me, but you can get an Overland atlas, which is the back roads. I think that's what they're called. I'm sure somebody in the chat will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to go off of memory. I've had it for quite a while now, so but I'm pretty sure they're called Overland maps, atlases that have the back roads, not the primary roads. Yeah, they still make Rand McNally books. I think actually that's what one of mine is. They still make those. You can get those on Amazon. Wolfgang, I'm glad you're drinking coffee now. It's good for you. It'll grow hair on your chest. Yes, the free section at the library and also not thrift stores, yard sales. Yard sales, a lot of times you can find those books too for next to nothing, like a quarter for one or a quarter for four of them. Definitely check those out. Use your resources. You don't have to buy the greatest and latest stuff, guys. There's a lot of really, really good stuff that you can find used at yard sales or um, garage sales, or a lot of churches have like community sales, and you can go find some really great stuff at these these sales that are probably, 10 years old, but they're better made than the junk that they're making now, for less than the stuff sold brand new. So definitely, definitely go check those out. Take the time. I tell you guys to take time for yourselves. That's a great time to take time for yourself and still continue to buy things that you need to get. Yeah, coffee. I agree. The world was such a better place when those things were taught. I remember when I went to school when you could have your shotgun hanging in the back window of your truck or, your rifle, whatever, in the truck, and you can't even go on school property now with it. So I'm sure there's counties that do allow it, but most counties don't anymore. Times have definitely changed, and it's not going to get much better. Oh, Dave, I'm glad you said that. I'm not updating then. I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm not updating if it's going to cause my laptop to crash. Um, how far behind am I? I don't think I'm a lot behind. Greenleaf mushroom coffee. I have to get Greenleaf. You drink mushroom coffee. I want to buy some lion's mane mushrooms, you guys. I am learning about lion's mane mushrooms. I'm not one that does a lot with mushrooms herbal wise, but I am definitely going to look into some lion's mane because it seems to be really an amazing mushroom. And I have a little lady that is usually has me on audio and shuts off chat. If she's in here, because she doesn't normally talk in the chat because it's difficult for her, I want to let her know I got my pine needle tea and it is very good. And thank you for recommending it. So I hope she's in here because I did go ahead and get it. I was a little scared because I didn't want to, feel like I was sipping on a Christmas tree, but it is actually really, really good. It does not taste at all like I thought it would. It's delicious. And it was not very expensive, but I'm grateful that she recommended it. That was one of those herbs that I was hesitant to use, and I did get it, and it's good. I can't drink it as often as I would like to, but it is very good, and I'm grateful that she recommended it. Where am I at? I'm at 52 minutes already. My goodness. I hope I gave you guys some information that you could use or some reminders. Um, I know that this isn't something that I try to touch on some things that I don't hear often that people forget about. I know we talk about things that um, you should stock and what you should plan as far as where you're going to go and get out. But there are things that each party can be doing wherever they are at the time of a grid down. So I hope that I brought you some information and have you guys start thinking and get the wheels moving and get the communication going between people in your family. Wolfang, you're cut off from coffee. Um, but I don't have anything really else to add, you guys. That was it. I am I not on all comments? And I'm sorry, you guys. I just saw a comment that oh, okay, there. Marie's Kitchen. Hello. I am about 5 minutes here from logging off. Um, but welcome for the last 5 minutes of my chit chat. Just trying to get it for an hour here because I normally go for an hour, even though I don't really have a whole lot. I went over a whole bunch of stuff um, that are things to get people thinking and start communicating. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. I always forget to tell you guys, and I am remembering. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and share if you want to share. If you don't, that's okay too. I feel kind of weird sharing sometimes, unless it's really, really something that I feel is super, super important. And then I definitely put it on my community tab. I'm trying to update you guys on some things here and there on the community tab. Um, but I've been lacking on the community tab because I know a lot of other channels are talking about a lot of the stuff going on, and I'm going to leave a lot of that to them. They are the experts in a lot of the areas of things going on. I am not. So I don't want to talk about things that I don't necessarily know about. Thank you, Greenleaf. I appreciate it. Um, but there are some great channels out there. Pete, the roaming prepper, is a great channel for updates. He updates a lot. If you're not on his IG as well, IG and YouTube, he updates throughout the day of things going on. He is very knowledgeable and gets a lot of information and knows way more than I do. Hudson is also another one. He does a lot of shorts that do updates, and his streams give updates on things. Some of them are things that I don't even know are going on until I go to his stream because I have a tendency to shut off my streams, my feeds from what I'm watching for a few days. I don't want to be influenced by other people's streams on my opinion. So a lot of times I will shut things off and see things for myself and, form my own thought process on it. Because I tend to like to think outside of the box a little further than a lot of people do normally. And it brings some revelation to me when I do it that way. Yeah, Hudson's awesome. I swear we are related somewhere in that bloodline. Wolfang also, he started doing live streams recently. He's a new channel, so um, check out his live stream. Um, he just started live streaming again. He hasn't live streamed in like 3 years, but he's starting to get his videos out again. So definitely um, check him out. You've never been in the box. I'm sorry about that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Tracy, I unplug often. I really do. I unplug often, probably more than I should. But I definitely unplug often to put myself back together. Sue's X, my dear, thank you so much. And I am so glad that you're here. Sue's ex has an awesome channel as well as her husband too, you guys. Um, they are the sweetest, most amazing couple, and I'm glad to see Sue's ex because I've not seen you since you broke your rib. So I am actually very, very happy to see you up and in here. I'm glad that you're feeling better. I know it's been a while since that happened, um, but I'm glad to see that you are doing well. Um, it's awesome because I know it's like 3 o'clock, something like that in the morning there. So thank you for being here with me. You're awesome. She's the sweetest lady, and her husband is so funny. I love messing with him. I like making him blush. It breaks up his streams when uh, some new people come in and repeat the same questions. So it's great to make him smile and poke at him every once in a while. And I hear Sue's always laughing in the background when she sees my comments. So it's awesome to get them laughing and joking. Um, did I miss anybody else? If you guys, let me see. I think hold on one second. If you guys have a channel, I can save my awesome moderator some work. And hold on. If you type in share, type in share, it should work. And it should drop your link, you guys. I could have probably said that a long time ago. Um, yeah, okay, so if you guys type share, the word share, it will no, not share, 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 and drop your guys' links for everyone um, to kind of get together and check each other out. I would greatly appreciate it, and it will help um, save my husband from having to go to all these pages. I should have said that a long time ago. He's probably going to kick me in the butt when I get off here for not saying that earlier. But that way you guys can all connect and check each other out and network and find channels that you can unwind and just appreciate. Honey, can you do me a favor, please, though, and drop Runny's channel for me? Uh, so that his channel's in here too, because he will give people a good laugh as well. If you are a new channel, Runny Egg is um, he is someone who has been on YouTube a very long time, and he is very good at telling you what you need to do to grow your channel organically. Not a sub for sub. It is not a sub for sub. It is literally teaching you how to grow your channel. And he jokes around and he laughs around, and he laughs a lot. And he is a great channel to grow if you're a new channel. He'll give you tips. He'll teach you how to fill out your about sections and your tag word, your keywords, all that stuff. He is really, really good at what he does. And he's just there. Those two are just a great couple all the way around. I got a channel with no videos, enough subs. That could change. Uncle Charlie, you should do like Joe does and just show the grass and talk. People would love to listen to what's on your mind. You're welcome, Suze. You guys deserve it. You work very hard. Both of you work very, very hard. Thank you, honey. All right, you guys. I don't have anything else. Oh, I'm at an hour. I'm at an hour now. So final words. Um, get your lists, check them twice, find out which one of you guys are naughty and which one of you guys have been nice. Just kidding. Yeah, really make your list, you guys. Check them over. Get your stuff in order. Um, I hope to see you guys at the meetup. If you have any questions, email me. Help each other communicate, even with your children. Communicate with your children in a way to not scare them. And always know where each other are, not to check up on each other, but for safety reasons. You should always know where your family members are. My husband always knows where I am. I always know where he is. We know where our kids are at all times. It's not a matter of not trusting them. It's a matter if something happens, you want to be able to get to them, or know if something is wrong, how to get help to them. I know it sounds strange, and a lot of couples don't trust each other anymore to do that, but do it. Your phones have apps where you can keep track of each other, and it's for safety reasons. That's all it is. It's strictly for safety reasons, guys. Connect with each other that way. Talk to your family outside of your home. Get your keywords, your radios, everything in order. Double check your supplies. Uh, fill your holes on what you need to fill, because I think we're getting closer and closer each day, um, very fast. And be kind to each other. And happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Coffee. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And much love to everyone. Much love. Be kind. Um, yes, call your mothers. Love your mothers while they're still here, guys, because they won't be here forever. Call them and treat them extra special tomorrow. And that's about it. Don't forget to pray. God's got us. And have a great night. Good night, everyone. Do, 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 do.